What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Fantasy in Frames Draft Show. I'm Stacy Perez. We got full house with us tonight. We've got Keith Fleming here in, I would say in the flesh, but it's a virtual flesh, I guess. And
Close enough.
yeah, close enough, right?
You don't want to see me up close anyway, so this is good. The lighting's nice.
This is perfect. Yeah, good lighting, excellent. Guys, we are welcoming to the show tonight Miss Erika Brown down here in the corner for you. We got America 108. If you want to find her on the Twitter machine, we got Kevin Tompkins over here also coming in, hanging out with us tonight. Guys, Best Ball Mania has hit the streets. We're going to do a Best Ball Mania draft tonight. Are you guys ready? Let's do it. I just want to thank Jorge for giving our show like the best intro music out of all of the shows.
Agree to disagree, the Daily Fix, but that's okay.
Guys, the chat is already hopping. We are running a couple minutes past 9, but that's okay. I love everybody.
So me and Kevin.
Yeah, it's okay. It's all right. You guys were doing the show before, Fantasy Football Weekly. So thank you for doing double duty back to back with us tonight. Scampers, Angie, Rachel, and I see all you guys in the chat. Thanks for coming and hanging out with us. Because if you're going to be drafting with us tonight, go ahead and get on Underdog right now. You're going to go right on over to Best Ball Mania. Once you've got that up, I will tell you when to hit enter, and hopefully we can all be in the draft together. If not, that's okay because you're still drafting, so it's still going to be a good time. If you don't want to draft and you'd rather just heckle all of us in our picks, please do so in the chat. That's going to be a good time as well. How are you guys doing tonight? Everybody having a good week so far?
Look, we're doing great. It's anytime you can start, BBM 5. It's draft. I've got to put my sleeves down because it's getting a little drafty in here. I am ready to get this started. The best part of the season, from now until the season starts, we got BBM 5. We got puppies galore, Dalmatians, Bulldogs, Mastiff, any dog breed you can think of. Underdog's got it. So
that's right. They got the mini Schnauzer out right now too.
Mini Schnauzer.
Mini Schnauzer, $3. So that one is out as well. It looks like it's more than halfway full though. So if you want to do Mini Schnauzer, you better get on it. So I promised you guys a Best Ball Mania. Get on there right now. Jamie wants to know when we're entering the draft. He's going to join with us. So if you are hovering over that little green enter button on Best Ball, I want you to go ahead and hit that right now. Yes, we are jumping on in to the Best Ball streets. We have got we got 9 open spots here in this one that we're doing. So there's plenty of room for everybody who wants to join if you want to come in and draft with us. Oh, Jamie, what are we drafting? We are drafting a Best Ball Mania, my friend. That is what's going on. It is going to be a super good time. I've been so excited for this to drop. I went a little out of control with my Best Ball Manias last year. Have you guys done any of these so far yet since it came out this week?
Stacy, I'm a degenerate. Of course I've freaking done one. Come on.
How many have you done?
I've done 2. So I'm being fairly cautious.
Yeah.
I guess would be the word.
This is number 1. But look, I don't think I'm in with you guys. So overflow nation, let's go.
We got 2 people left waiting in this one. Kevin, do you still have 2 people?
Oh, maybe. I'm 10 to 12, so maybe I'm in it.
Excellent. Erika, you in there too?
I think so.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I got all 3 of us drafting. This is going to be chaos. I love it. I hope we're not drafting all back to back. Or maybe I do. Who knows? We're going to snipe each other. We'll see. Still 2
You guys can have the running backs. You guys are good.
That's what it says, I think, in your underneath your name here. Imagine a running back in this economy. You're absolutely right.
Look, we got to keep the brand up as much as we can. Look, I mean, it is what it is.
Are you a 0 RB drafter, Kev?
Am I a 0 RB drafter? Yes.
What gave it away?
Same here. Oh, Erika, Monica's watching. Just trying to help her with the comment. Nice. Oh, we got Brenda over here. Brenda might be in too. We got 1 more spot left. So if you're still out there, you can hear me and you want to draft. Well, it's too late now because it just got filled. So I'm going to throw that board up, get that on our screen here for those of us that are watching. If you're listening to us, it is not going to make one bit of difference. But we will tell you exactly what we're doing. We'll try our best to narrate.
Try.
Yeah.
We get a little sidetracked if you've not seen me and Stacy work together before. We could end up talking about something that has nothing to do with this draft for 5 minutes, but we will try to update the picks as much as possible.
Exactly. Let's see. All right. So we got Erika. You got the closest one up. You're number 5. Kev, you're 7. Rachel coming in there at 8. Oh, we got Gridiron Goddess up in here. We got Brenda in here too. I'm drafting on the Fantasy and Frames down here at number 12. So guys, we got some sharks up in here. Oh my goodness. Look at Rachel with her badge over here. Kevin, you got a badge too. And so I want a badge. I don't know how close I am to getting a badge, but damn,
what is it? Is that results or is that how much you've spent?
Probably almost how much you spent, right?
Because I know at DraftKings, it's like when I get a lot of coins and stuff going, or like the rewards, I'm like, that just means I put a lot of money on here, and entered a lot of contests in the last few months. So that isn't necessarily always a good thing.
I think it's 500 paid contests is what the bet. At least that.
Kevin, how do you feel about the first 2 picks being running backs?
McCaffrey's fine. He's 101, pretty much cemented in. Bijan's a little rich, but it is what it is. People love running backs. Couldn't be me, but no, I don't know if Bijan's a little frothy at 102 for me.
I like that term frothy. Jamie, please feel free to comment about the Bijan pick at number 2. I'm very curious.
But come on, let's be easy with the Falcons slander. Let's not forget, I'm only a week removed, Stacy. It's been a tough 7 days. It's been a tough 40 years, to be honest, being a Falcons fan. So you can critique, but let's, kid gloves is all I'm asking for.
Yeah, it's not like he has 4 more months of this or anything.
No. Hey Keith, so I didn't get to be on the draft show with you guys on Thursday when it all went down. What was what do you think about Michael Penix? Are you excited about that pick? I didn't get your reaction.
I mean, Falcons are going to Falcon. I've been trying to tell people this for a long time. They're going to do something that's just going to, piss off most of the fan base. It's arrogance. That's where I've got to, is just they think they're the smartest guys in the room. And we have, since 1965, a ton of evidence that says, I don't think we've ever been the smartest NFL team in the room. So I like Penix the player. That's why I feel bad, shitting on him. Because ultimately, if Penix ends up being good for 5 to 8 years, even if it's 2-3 years down the line, they're justified with taking it at 8, because you got to get a quarterback when you're picking up there, especially when you're tampering, when you spend $150 million on another QB. But it does scare me, obviously, a lot. It doesn't make a lot of sense. If this team's ready to win now, why didn't we take a defender? Because we could have had literally any defender in the draft. The 2 other things I just want to say is, number 1, little nervous about what this means for Cousins, that they went and did this with Penix. Because is this an insurance policy? Maybe if you're glass half full, you're saying they saw Mariota and Ritter play the last 2 years in the front office. It's we're never going to be in that situation again. So whether it's Cousins or Penix, we have somebody that can play. But my biggest concern is the most popular player on every NFL team that doesn't start is that backup QB. And if Cousins, God forbid, has a bad game or 2, they're going to be clamoring for Penix. And unfortunately, born and raised, ATL, Georgia, it's going to become a race thing. It just always does. With a black and white quarterback, it's going to get ugly and fast. So, as usual, the Falcons have just made a bigger mess than they had to. And, it is what it is. My dad said a long time ago, you can root for the Falcons. You can like them. You can watch them. But if you end up loving them, they'll break your freaking hearts. And no truer words have ever been spoken.
I don't know about the Falcons, but Keith, I can just tell you the Atlanta Braves have broken my heart more than times. And
it's in the state for sure. It's contagious. UGA's trying to break it. The Braves with another World Series, maybe they could get out of that, realm. But no, it's unfortunately not just the Falcons. It's kind of Loserville in Georgia until the last few years, with thank God for the Braves and the Dolphins.
Oh man. Jamie is thinking that Spencer Rattler might be a backup who's going to take over a starting job. What do you guys think about that?
It's feasible.
Yeah.
I mean, I could totally see that. It's going to be hard because now then we're predicting injuries, and I don't think it's going to be a skill thing. Like, I don't think Michael Penix is going to be going over Kirk Cousins and Kirk Cousins to be riding bench. I don't think that's going to be happening. But it's going to have to be an injury, and then we're playing fantasy Twitter doctor, trying to figure that one out. And that's not a race I really want to get into.
I saw a meme that said that Spencer Rattler looks like the actor who's going to play Patrick Mahomes when somebody does the bio of Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift.
I saw that one.
Amazing.
It was great.
Did y'all see Patrick Mahomes on Monday Night Raw? That's the question. You did not see? So he showed up with Logan Paul, who is now wrestling for the WWE. He actually handed Logan Paul his 3 Super Bowl rings in Kansas City, so Logan Paul could then use them as an illegal weapon. It was amazing. And, I mean, who else could get Patrick Mahomes? Like, who else can get Logan Paul cheered other than Patrick Mahomes? Because when they both showed up on the camera, everybody cheered. It was pretty cool, though, to see Mahomes out there. The offensive line was with them. Looked like they had a good time in Kansas City.
Is that their thing now? Because I know, like, Jason Kelce and one of their other guys, was it Lane Dickerson, went on, I don't know. Keith, you're going to lose me about the wrestling stuff because I don't know.
No, wrestling it's very easy. If you watch soap operas or you watch Lifetime, more power to you if you're female. Wrestling is guys' soap operas. That's what it is. It's guys' soap opera. It's amazing. I love it. I'm a huge nerd. I get that. But the great thing about technology, the internet, et cetera, is I'm learning there's a lot of other people that are also huge nerds and love wrestling. So it's not just me.
I had an ex-boyfriend who used to watch a lot of wrestling, and for a while I could tell you all their names and everything, and I do not know their names anymore.
Which guy got your loins going? Because for my wife, it's Roman Reigns.
Oh,
she acknowledges.
I'm not gonna
Roman
lie.
Reigns.
I was a Randy Orton fan for a minute.
You hear voices inside your head, is what you're telling me. So that's his theme song. Just so you know.
I also really enjoyed Bret Michaels' theme music. That was always my jam.
Sexy Boy. Yeah, of course.
It was great.
Erika's like, I thought I came on a fantasy show. What the hell?
I know nothing about wrestling. Not a single thing.
Erika's like, I know shit about fuck.
Erika's over here taking Sam Laporta from me. Damn it.
All right. 3 rounds in, or almost 3 rounds in. Who really likes the first stack? Give me one that you guys really like so far.
Let's see. Who are some of these stacks we got going on? Do we have any stacks happening right now?
Well, I'm just talking about.
I just took the first quarterback, so.
Yeah. So I'm saying, like, for me, the Tyreek Olave Laporta, pretty sexy. I also really like that Chase Neighbors Collins startup. I mean, everybody's teams are pretty good, but I like the upside, particularly that Tyreek Olave Laporta for a best ball because goodness gracious, Olave and Hill can have as big a week-to-week performances as any guy out there. And I am somebody that Carr had a legit shoulder injury last year. He can push the ball down the field. Historically, you could actually see Olave have a big step forward if Carr is healthy and can throw the ball down the field like he could when he was with the Raiders.
Stacy, I wanted to ask you real quick. How do you like the 112? Because, I mean, seeing the first 2, like having to take Harrison at 112 kind of doesn't really jive with me. I don't know how you feel about that.
I don't love it, but here's the thing is that my friend that I play a lot of my high stakes teams with, Jim Bednar, literally this afternoon, we were talking about Marvin Harrison going that early. And he's like, you're going to have to take him because you just need to get some exposure. And so when I had the 12 spot, I was like, I guess we're taking Marv. Come on down, Marv.
I guess we're getting some exposure.
Let me ask you guys, though. Kyler Murray has proven he can carry wide receivers to fantasy relevance when he's healthy. And this is by far the best one he's had. No offense to DeAndre Hopkins. I don't think DeAndre was the same DeAndre he was in Houston by the time he got to Arizona, but he was very good. Marquise Brown was very good for a stretch. Larry Fitzgerald actually had a good stretch with Kyler Murray. We saw McBride last year. It's not that crazy that opportunity, right? Obviously, he's going to get the ball. Harrison could end up being a top 5 wide receiver. The last 6 wide receivers drafted in the top 5 finished at least top 30 at the position, with Jamar Chase being the alpha rookie, finishing wide receiver for his rookie season.
See, Keith, that is why you are so invaluable. You've got all these stats floating around up here in your head that you can just like recall like that.
It's what being a nerd entails, is you read a lot. I'm like, what's his name from Game of Thrones? I don't drink and know things, but I do smoke and know things. So, I'm glad though to help.
Erika with that CJ Stroud pick. I love that so much. That's one of my favorite quarterbacks this year. Isn't that wild that we've got 4 quarterbacks off the board with Allen, Hurts, Lamar, and CJ, and poor Patty Mahomes still sitting in everybody's queue.
How about Stroud going that early? And it shows so much of what that guy is, that not only did he go that early, all 3 of his wide receivers have already gone. We're not even through the 4th round. If people are like, you know what, I'll take any guy that Stroud's throwing it to.
100%. I'll take any guy that Stroud's thrown it to. I am kind of fading Dalton Schultz just a little bit, because I don't know that you can support 4 guys. Although I think
touchdown dependent, right? That's going to be the deal.
For sure. What's up, Vince Sizzle? Everybody, thank you again so much jumping in the chat. I see Wendy over here, Rich hanging out with us tonight. I love that the chat is blowing up. This is so fun, guys. Thank you all for joining us. As if you like, if you're having a good time, you like what you're hearing, make sure to go over and hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, so you know when we're going to be drafting, when we're going to be posting content, so you can come hang out and be part.
We got to whore ourselves out better than that, Stacy. We're at 907 followers, right? We want 1,000. Okay, yes, come on, subscribe, people. Call somebody, text them. It's like the old telethons. We need your support to get where we're going. We only need that. We know 93 people. Make it happen. Come on.
I'm sorry. There's 145 people watching this right now. We only need 95 to hit 1,000, guys. We need 95 more subscribers to hit 1,000. If you are watching this, you have not subscribed yet, please go on there right now and hit that subscribe button. Just smash that subscribe button. I want to get us over 1,000 subscribers by the end of this draft. That's
I was going to say, as the kids say,
note, right, Kevin? We'll write.
I was going to say,
thank you notes.
As the kids say, smash that like button, smash that subscribe.
Yes.
I have heard that on a YouTube video once or twice. Seems to work.
Smash all of the buttons.
Smash meant something totally different when I was growing up. I just want to say for the record, but yeah, smash that like, and be sure to comment as well.
That's right.
All right. What's the wildest pick you've seen so far? Let's be honest. Biggest reach. We're all friends.
I mean, besides Bijan.
Ooh, I like it.
Pickens.
Yeah. Where'd he just went? Where did he go?
Yeah. 502.
Yes, Pickens went in the 5th.
The word of the day, it's frothy. That just seems, that's a little bit above the skis for me, but I don't mind it. I just don't think Pittsburgh's going to be like gung ho about wanting to pass the ball with leather helmet armors, Arthur Smith at the helm, and stubborn Mike Tomlin.
Keith knows about Arthur Smith.
If you French fry when you're supposed to pizza, you're going to have a bad time, okay? That's a South Park skiing lesson that you should remember. Well, can I ask you guys, because y'all are much better at best ball than I am. These teams that are going 3 backs in their first 5 picks, what is exactly the thought process there?
Boomer drafting, going 3 running backs in your first picks. No, that's okay.
No, I'm being serious. Like, I'm trying to understand, like, even the devil's advocate side of it.
No, we're just messing with you, Brenda. Brenda's got Jonathan Taylor, Derrick Henry, and Travis Etienne.
Ooh, the testosterone.
Gosh, yeah.
Those 3 running backs.
Holy cow. Those are some grown ass men running.
And AJ Brown's a pretty grown ass man as well.
Absolutely. And he just got extended. So good for him getting that money. I love that. You know, I like doing so many of these, right? Because you can play around with so many different builds. You don't just have to like draft one and then that's, you know, the thing that you're sticking with. You could even say, all right, tonight I'm going to go and do something wild. I'm going to do like something crazy. Like for me, it would be drafting 3 running backs in a row because I am so running back and first. But all right, guys, where is what I want to do? Hang on.
Joe Mixon's right there for you.
Yeah. No, thank you.
I just want to say too, because we had an offline conversation about it, because this is now the third or fourth best ball draft that Stacy's done literally while we've been doing the show. God, Stacy, you're just, man, that's why you're my favorite. You know it. She always goes
Kyle Pitts to go with my stack. And
I actually like Bowers more. Everybody's hating on the location, okay? The Raiders picked him to be an offensive weapon, not a tight end. Jacoby Myers is gone, okay? He lined up in the slot. He lined up outside. He lined up in the backfield. I think that he is going to get a lion's share of those Jacoby Myers targets and looks. And I don't think people understand that they're planning to line him up, which by drafting him with Mayer, they're not going to play him in line a ton. Wait till a corner or a safety tries to cover that dude. It's not going to go well. I love it. But what I was saying is the 4 wide receivers every time. And why don't you go into a little bit of the explanation? Because I love the way you're explaining kind of your thought process for that.
All right. So I took 4 receivers off the board right off the bat. I am drafting in the 12 spot. So I took Harrison, London, Devontae Smith, and Tank Dell, who I can't get enough of. But the reason why I did that, in particular being in the 12th spot, is that it's going to be a long time before I get to draft again, right? So in Ball Mania, in this particular format, you're starting 3 wide receivers. You've got a flex spot. This is a half-point PPR. So for me, I think that position is really valuable. And if you take a look at this draft board, look how much orange is on this draft board, right? So you've got, most of these teams here are going to be just like sucking up all those receivers, all that really good talent. And at a certain point, I think we're in the 6th round now, probably coming around the 7th, you're going to see a real tier break in those guys. So I want to take the best, options that I've got off the board first. And I can always fill in at running back. Especially like RB2, I think that's probably one of your least valuable positions. I did go with a stud at tight end. I was looking to get Kyle Pitts there to go with my with Drake London there, do a little Falcon stack. That did not happen for me, but then I take a look at and see, okay, whatever tight ends are left, and Brock Bowers is there, and I thought, I gotta do it.
Yeah, I mean, starve the beast at wide receiver, because people are going to be, especially like the teams that drafted 3 running backs, like you're going to have to go back and you're going to have like Josh Palmer and Josh Downs like staring at you in the face.
Yeah.
Like good luck with those guys. It's like you're
those kind of guys,
right? Like you're going to be, hurting. You're going to have your running backs, but wide receivers kind of drive the ship, especially in Ball Mania. So,
I think
even though it is half-point PPR, but still.
It's changed. When I first started, it was all about getting running backs. They were the most valuable position. And I really do. I feel like it's changed now to where the teams that have like 3-4 really good wide receivers, almost no matter the point, even standard leagues, they just seem to consistently go off, to where running backs now, it's like there's a very small handful that week after week score points. Otherwise, it's just so hit or miss. And I mean, the best receivers average 80 to 100 yards per game. That's a minimum of 8 to 10 points, even in a standard league, no matter what.
Exactly. Keith, what do you think about your boy Ladd going first pick in the 7th round?
Man, it's good to see that every once in a while the football gods smile on me. So happy for my boy Ladd. I said this on the show earlier. Since Justin Herbert became quarterback for the Chargers in 2020, at least 60% or more of his receptions, receiving yards, and touchdowns, Everett, Guyton, Eckler, Williams, Allen. Guess what? They're all out of here. We saw what Quentin Johnson did last year. Not a lot. It looks like Ladd's going to be the slot guy on top of everything else, which we saw Keenan Allen get peppered with targets, have a lot of target reception games. Perfect situation. I now have him as wide receiver number 3. If you're talking about this year among the rookies, I only have Harrison Jr. and Neighbors, who I actually think I have Neighbors 1, Harrison Jr. 2.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to have Ladd McConkey, because, I mean, I don't think enough people are talking about Neighbors targets this year. They're going to be astronomical. And I always say, one of my favorite things in the world, bad teams, they're down. You know what you do when you're down. You chuck. That is very good for best ball. That's very good for fantasy.
Yeah, that Giants offense can find some efficiency. If they can find efficiency somewhere, anywhere, and if it goes to Neighbors, then you're looking at the top 15, 14, 13 wide
yeah.
receiver right there at minimum, and then add touchdowns on top of that. Yeah.
Especially looking like Waller's not, going to retire. So now you're talking about Barkley and Waller are gone. I love Darius Slayton. He won me a ton of money in DFS last year, but he's not that dude. Great situation. I love Harrison too. It's just he's got McBride. He's got there's other things. Kyler runs, right? Like there's all kinds of stuff to where, let's be honest, in New York, it's probably going to be the neighbor show.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I would think so. 100%. Did Dallas Goedert already get taken? There he is now. Okay. Not that I'm looking at him to put him in my queue at all.
So with Watson among the Packers receivers, I know I saw Reed. How many have gone? Yeah. I'm just curious for how this is going this year.
Let's see.
As far as Packers receivers, he's probably the first one.
No, I did see Reed go. So that's
Reed, I guess.
Christian Watson just went. Kev, how do you feel about Reed being the number one guy? Yeah. Keith, our minds have melded.
Exactly.
What was it? I'm sorry, I couldn't.
Just curious what you think about like the ranking of them and having Reed go first. Like how would you rank the Packers receivers?
I mean, that would be how I would rank them. I'm gonna make my pick.
You're on the clock. Yeah, you're on the clock.
I sure am. As much as I would love to take, I'm gonna take one more running back. I'm gonna take Swift. Yeah. So as far as I'd rank them, I mean that's probably correct. But when we're looking at literally Dontavian Wicks. Romeo Dobbs, you're looking at Tucker Kraft, you're looking at Luke Musgrave, like any one of those is live to lead the Packers in targets. I don't know if I'm using draft capital on Jayden Reed or Christian Watson when I can get those guys later. And I would say they have, as far as value to leading the team in targets, if you're kind of ratioing that, I think those guys just has just as good of a chance to lead the team in targets. So, I mean, Reed, I'm probably going to be I'm going to be below average on exposure. Probably Watson as well. I'm probably going to have a lot more of Dobbs, Wicks, and then either of the tight ends.
All right, let me ask you guys this, because again, best ball experts. I kind of like several of the tight ends for their situations that were drafted. And if you're not going to spend capital on one of these first guys, why not load up with Jorge's new tight end in Washington, Eric All and Cincy, and take a bunch of those darts late where they don't have a lot of competition to be the number one tight end day one. And I like both of their athletic upside and potential to, maybe be sneaky good.
Yeah. I mean, certainly if you're going to draft someone, in the elite tight ends, you're usually drafting a second one and then depending on the build, maybe grabbing a third. If you're waiting till the double-digit rounds to grab a tight end, you're going to have to draft 4 because you got to make up with it in quantity.
You do well, and in something like this too. So, when I was doing some best ball kind of research, I had teams that had 2 tight end builds had higher advance rates than teams that had 3. But when they got into the playoffs, teams that had 3 tight ends had a better advance rate once you were in the playoffs. So I don't know.
But wouldn't that then mean that it's more important to try to make the playoffs, right? And then at least you have a chance, which that would mean the 2 tight end, than going with the 3 and worrying about, okay, it's like the Falcons, right? Let's make the fucking playoffs. And then when we can talk about winning the wild card or divisional round, to me, that kind of says to you that, because there's a lot more teams, right? Obviously, before the playoffs, and there is once that the 2 tight end probably is the way to go.
Yeah, and if you're drafting 2, more than likely you're drafting an elite tight end and then bookending it with somebody at the end. Versus 3, you got to make up for it. I made a final last year with Kmet, Laporta, and McBride, and got just totally lucky with that. But so you make up for it either with youth or obviously the bankable guys at the top, and then maybe because I was doing a lot of Mayer last year at the end, and that didn't work out too well. But McBride was pretty much free last year, and if you hit on him, you were golden.
Oh yeah.
All right, do me a favor, Stacy. Scroll up, because I want to see how many wide receivers were taken in front of Lad, so I can make fun of all of y'all.
A lot.
That's what I'm saying. A lot. Erika, you're a Cowboys fan, right?
Yes.
What's going on here? Can you explain this to me? Like we're just waiting. We're gonna punt this season. Is that kind of like I'm like honestly kind of trying to figure out what the hell is going on?
It kind of feels that way. It's very disappointing what the Cowboys have not done so far.
Are you pro Dak or like
Rachel? What are you doing?
Give him the bag or not?
I think we need to move on eventually.
Okay.
I mean, he's not going to get us there. He hasn't.
And it's a lot of money. So. Oh my God, it's so much money. So do you think they're maybe trying to trade him this year then?
I don't think so. I think we're going to keep him because Jerry likes to keep his guys. That's the problem. He likes to keep them. He's too loyal to his guys. Keeps them for far too long.
He went back to the ex-girlfriend, like it was the couple, they broke up for a little bit. They were on the rebound with the Patriots, and then they just decided they couldn't live without each other. And
all your buddies had just felt comfortable talking shit about the person. And it's like, oh my God, y'all are back together. I said horrible things about them last week.
That's why you can't say anything when people break up. You don't know what's going to happen.
Stacy, as you get older, you'll learn. If they're truly your friend, they need some truth serum. Don't hold back. Give them. Seriously, like, if you can't trust on your friends and family to tell you how it is, who can you trust on, right?
That's
we all need
that. True. Yes.
You're going to take Cousins and then take Penix in the next round? Is that what's going on here, Stacy?
Yeah, I'm going to go with a three QB build here. I go grab Michael Penix down.
Like the Atlanta Falcons, I heard we're trying to trade for Dak Prescott right now as we speak. So,
what are we ranking these rookie running backs?
Ooh, well, you took Jonathan Brooks, which I'm a big fan of. I see my boy Trey Benson, so just ruining my Arizona build over here. Number one.
To me, it's Brooks and then everybody else way below among the rookies, because there's a lot of guys like me and Kevin were talking about this a little bit on the last show. I really like Marshawn Lloyd, Blake Corum, but they're in situations where I don't see them becoming the alpha unless injury, just shenanigans, etc., to where, man, like for somebody like me who's big on Chuba Hubbard, God, it had to be Jonathan Brooks. Like it had to be the one guy in this class that was a first round talent, if not for the injury. I really like him in Carolina. And I think, man, looking at like some of the backs that went in front of him, I'd rather have Brooks for the upside than a lot of the people that went before him.
I really like Brooks. I'm a Trey Benson girl, though. I'm a big Trey Benson fan. He's so much fun. And I think once, how old is James Conner? Is he almost 30 or is he 30 already?
We've been saying this about Conner forever, though. It's always the guy behind him. And then all he goes out and does is like, oh, yeah, you want? He's basically the Mike Evans of running backs. It's like everybody's
here's 1,100 yards. And
here's 1,110 touchdowns. Thanks for letting me drop to the 12th round, you fucking morons. That's what it feels like. Right? I mean,
maybe the first team saved me from myself then. No more Trey Benson.
I do like Trey Benson, though, to your point, but it's just like James Conner. I mean, seriously, we're like on year 5 now of this with him, where everybody's like kind of down on him.
He's been dead for 4 years.
Yeah,
and we're drafting Chase Edmonds after him.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Guys, I only have 2 running backs. What is going on here? I gotta step it up.
Good.
I got 2.
So good.
You only have 2? Who do you have, Kev? You got Swift and you
Aaron
can't stay away from Aaron Jones.
The what of Aaron Jones?
You can't stay away. I can't stay away from Aaron Jones.
I can't stay away from Minnesota running backs, knowing how Kevin McCarthy runs his system and barely ever uses a backup running back. So,
oh man, I can't wait to snipe Ty Chandler from you.
How much cash do we think surplus of cash has? Like, what is the threshold for your username?
That dude has that person has a negative bank account right now, almost guaranteed. They are using their credit builder discover card.
So it's an oxymoron. That's what you're telling me, right?
Yes.
So did surplus of cash, though, in all seriousness, was that the first 2 QBs he take? Because if he did, well done for the 9th and 10th round.
I think so. Yeah, he just got Purdy and Daniel. Yeah,
that's really impressive, because I keep telling people, what is wrong with you? Brock Purdy was QB6 year 2. Okay, year 2, his first full year starting. He's with Mike Shanahan, who, if I need to remind people, Matt Ryan, his 2nd year as a starter in that league, was the MVP, an unquestioned MVP. Had like 45. It was one of the best offenses in the history of the NFL. We blew a lead in the Super Bowl. I don't know if you heard about it, but still a really good season. And here's Purdy, who they just got Purcell. I mean, I don't get it. Like, to me, Purdy should be like no lower than QB 7, 8 in just about any format.
Yeah, I get it.
Whoever's
down.
drafting as 4 has sniped me like 6 times already.
FF Juggernaut?
No idea who it is.
It's not surplus of cash, right? You're talking about the other guy, right?
Yeah, the other guy.
Or the other woman. Sorry. That's very sexist of me to
Who
say.
knows?
FF Juggernaut. So they're a fantasy football juggernaut, and then surplus. So these are some real big names
Ooh,
in
so
this.
they are. All right.
Is that a Rob Schneider reference too? The Schneider 11? You think that's what that is? They're big Rob Schneider fan?
maybe. So
Are there?
That's a fair point.
have
You
Stacey-
can do it. You know, I mean, that's like one of the greatest lines of all time. I don't know if he's got too many
Stacy, go
movies.
ahead. You've been wanting to say this for a
Yeah,
while.
I'm sorry,
Okay,
Stacey.
I just wanted to
30
get
seconds.
scamper. Oh, I'm on the clock. Hang on. Sorry.
Like that.
Too late now.
Womp womp.
How big are we on Shaheed in New Orleans?
Perfectly fine with it. He's like
In
the perfect
basketball,
veteran
yeah.
best ball guy.
Boomer bust, right?
Love
I
it.
mean, I think he's about. I think he can earn targets. I just don't know about. I mean, it's kind of bare around him a little bit, but I think can at least get 110 targets in that offense. Like best case.
He's gonna get you some touchdowns.
People stop taking Curtis Samuel in front of Khalil Shakir too, please. Please.
He hung around for a while, by the
He
way.
did. He did.
I mean, I have Allen, and I kind of was like, no, that's not happening.
All right, Stacy, since I interrupted you 45 times, what were you trying to say?
Okay. I just wanted to get to Scamper's comment here because Kev took Blake Corum, and here we go. He's saying Corum being a very fast processor. This was in response to him being more insurance than competition. For Kyron, I mean, Kyron has had some injuries, so I kind of like Corum back there. I think that's a good spot for him.
I don't think Kyron's a lock by any means, and that's why I'm not drafting him where he's going.
Mm-hmm.
He's pretty much he's certainly better than the Ronnie Rivers and Royce Freeman that they were trotting out at the end of last year. But look, Blake Corum, 3rd round capital. You can't really, shake a stick at that. And then you're talking about Kyron, who is 5th round capital. I mean, if you want to play that game, I guess there's some reason to worry with that. But look, I think Blake Corum, if Kyron goes down with an injury, Blake Corum can kind of bust that door open and take a lot more carries than you want if you're drafting Kyron Williams.
He can, but just a reminder, Kyron Williams, when him, Stafford, Puka, and Kupp were on the field, number 1 most efficient offense in the NFL and the most efficient offense in almost 14 seasons. So, I agree. For best ball, Corum's perfect. Like, he's almost exactly like Lloyd. He's the guy I want to get to where he's like one injury or just LaFleur McVay being like, you know what, I'm going to flip running backs because I just want to, away from having a huge season. But it's all value, right? It depends on when you're getting them. The later you get them, I love it. The earlier you're kind of counting on a lot of, what ifs and buts and candy nuts or whatever the saying is. You've heard that one, right, Stacy? You're from the South.
I don't know that I'm that south though. I don't. That's a new.
Oh, that's a low blow, Stacy. You live in Florida, for God's sakes. How dare you talk about me? You don't know if you're that south.
Oh my goodness.
It's called Florida Man articles for a reason. Okay, they don't even give the name. It's just Florida Man. Yada yada. Yeah.
Have you guys ever done the Google search where you type in your birthday and then Florida Man? And
It's
then it pops
amazing.
up with like
Yes,
an
I
article
have.
of your birthday.
I'm
That's
going to have to do that.
If you haven't, you should be either doing that right now if you have not subscribed already to Fantasy and Frames, or you should do it as soon as this show is over.
After you've subscribed to Fantasy Frames, go do it. There's 216 people listening. It is our subscribe-a-thon, guys.
Yeah, that's right.
We've got to get to 1,000 before the end of the show, or else we're all getting fired. So please go out there, subscribe, help us keep our jobs here at Fantasy and Frames. We want to keep
Getting fired from a job you don't get paid for is a pretty tough break, too, if we're being honest. Like, let's just go ahead and put that out there. We need you. Let's start playing the music for the dog commercials. I need, what's her name, Ashley Judd in the arms of an angel.
Yeah.
For God's sake.
Sarah McLachlan.
Yeah, hit that. Subscribe.
We probably don't have the yeah, we'd probably get in trouble if we played that song, but you guys all know it. I'm sure you're hearing it in right now. Guys, I see 2 subscribers difference than it was an hour ago. Guys,
how dare you guys?
Not good enough. Come on now. Let's go. Ooh, Hunter Henry.
My mom subscribed. I said this earlier. She hasn't ever opened a Fantasy and Frames video in her life, but she subscribed, and that's what matters. So come on, 224 people. Take the time, hit subscribe. I don't care if you're watching on Twitter, Facebook, whatever. We need you to help Fantasy and Frames.
You right there. I'm talking to you. Yeah, my mom too, Keith, and all our sweet little church friends.
There we go. Now that's what I need to get into. Put it in the church bulletin. That might be a little risque, but that's okay.
We watched you on Facebook. They're so sweet. That's awesome. Keep doing it.
I love hearing that.
Yeah, love it.
So did my boy Wilson? When did my boy Thomas Jr. go? I don't know why I said Wilson.
Do you mean Brian?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Has he gone? Because I just saw that.
Yeah, he went.
Early?
Where is he?
Okay, 1st to 6th.
6-12.
Yeah, I was like, I know I saw him. Yeah, team 1. Yeah, because I remember seeing they did back-to-back rookie picks.
Yeah, let's go ahead and hot take. That whole 6-round row outside of Terry McLaurin, y'all all fucked up not taking Ladd. Just FYI.
I got Corab and Marshawn Lloyd. We are eating good.
Not the receivers that went in round 6: Brian Thomas Jr., Marquise Brown, Calvin Ridley, Rashee Rice, Xavier Worthy. Ooh, 2 Kansas City's back-to-back. Scary Terry McLaurin and Christian Kirk, all before Ladd McConkey.
How dare you people? 60 to 65% of the receptions, receiving yards, and touchdowns. It's like people.
Hey, if you're gonna negative me for playing the late season upside of Rashee Rice once he comes off his 12-game suspension, I don't want to hear it.
That's fair, but he may not get suspended at all, and it's an even better pick. So.
You're
right. I probably need to apologize. Rice and McLaurin. I will.
That's my wide receiver 4, by the way.
I will edit it. Yeah, but Stacy's going. Show your top 4 wide receivers. Stacy's like, you want to talk wide receivers, huh?
I'm gonna talk wide receivers. I'm gonna.
Let me get this pick in, Keith. Leave me the.
Yeah, let me get both these picks in real quick. Yeah, I gotta. This is a little gross, but it goes with my build.
What do you mean? This is not gross.
See, look, you took Wicks in the 13th round. I took Dobbs in the I would rather have those 2 picks between Dobbs and the 10th that I took. You took Wicks, Stacy, before Reed and Watson.
Why did Dobbs have such a big playoff push, Kevin? Like, why was he the guy when the games mattered the most? It seemed like they kept going to.
Mm-hmm.
Right. It was especially in the playoffs. It was
I'm saying, do you know what that is? Like, do you think he might be the best receiver, or?
I think everybody is live to be that because they're going to just spread. He's not going to lock into one guy. He's just going to spread the ball around. I mean, that's just the nature of the offense.
That's why I love them in best ball. I love the Green Bay offense in best ball so much. In redraft, it's going to make me insane to try to figure out who to start every week. But man, in best ball, give me all the. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a Packer fan. Give me all the Packers.
Homer,
I'll do it.
Do it all day. All day long. Scampers.
Ben Sinnott, baby. Let's go.
Ben Sinnott. Yeah.
I love the Rico Dowdle pick, by the way, Stacy.
I do too.
Everybody keeps saying Zeke. I was a Rico Dowdle truther beforehand, and I think Rico Dowdle was one of the real winners of what's happened over the last 2 weeks. Yes, Zeke is going to eat. We get it. He's going to get his carries, but this means Rico, they have at least enough confidence for him to be like 1B. At worst, and he ends up being 1A. That could be a sneaky good offense with CD, Dak. I know Erika's like from your mouth to God's ears, but I mean, who knows?
Like Rico is my favorite guy I'm sorry. I'm just gonna say Rico's like my favorite guy last year in Dynasty in free agency. like just to pick up literally everywhere.
Yeah. Kevin, we must have been like exactly right. Like, I don't know how many times like I grabbed Rico off the waiver wire and he saved my butt at, like towards the playoffs, getting into the playoffs. Because he had several touchdowns there right at the end of the season. That were very helpful for me. So thank you, Rico.
Say we know Tony Pollard wasn't scoring very many touchdowns.
Sweet Lord, poor Tony Pollard.
Like he's running back number one. I mean, I said that everywhere before the season started. And
look, myself and Jacob Sanderson do not appreciate taking arrows and slings on the Tony Pollard bandwagon we've been driving for the last 3 years. So just want to make that abundantly clear.
It was when I was like, I'm going to stop screaming from the mountaintops. Wild opinions. That's probably not the best idea to do.
I had 0 Tony Pollard last year because I was not about to pay.
Rub it in, Stacy. Rub it in.
Nope.
Love the Michael Wilson play there.
Who took Michael Wilson?
Drunk and naked, allegedly set house on fire and fell cookie. See, Charlene gets it.
Yeah.
Charlene, where are you from? Are you from the South? Because if so, you understand. The struggle is real. Floridians are crazy. Okay.
Yeah. Floridian. I'm a native Floridian, so I'm
well aware, Stacy. Well aware.
Unhinged over here. Guys, we're going to the 15th round of this draft. A little bit different from last season. Best Ball Mania is only 18 rounds this time instead of 20. So, you get done a little bit faster. So
what position do you cut there?
Off during your lunch break, guys. Like be a complete degenerate. Do this at work. It'll be good. Just go. Say I'm going to take 30 for my lunch and just go rip off a BBM.
Easy. Stacy, I saved you with the DMs the other night. You need to be very careful with the BBMs, okay? Just
I don't know what you're talking about, Keith. Get your mind out of the gutter. Get your mind out of the I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm trying to save you. There's 231 people on here, probably at least 190 are guys. Just saying. So seriously, you said they dropped 2 positions or 2 spots. Who do you automatically cut there? Or does it matter? Is it like just dependent on your draft, or is there 2 spots you're like, okay, I'm going to take 1 less tight end, 1 less QB, 1 less wide? Like, how do you do that?
Probably 1 less running back for me. Right now I'm at a 2-5-5 build, 5-5-2 build. So 2 quarterbacks, 5 receivers, 5 running backs, and 2 tight ends. Probably going to leave my tight ends and my QBs alone there. And Erika, did you just take Malachi Corley?
I did.
That was
a smile on her face. I'm going to have to screenshot that. She literally smiled as she selected it. I think that was kind of a shock to you, Stacy.
It was kind of a panic pick, honestly.
Oh, okay. Well, I also understand that face then where you're just like, eee.
I saw like, as I was talking, like I saw like my dashboard, like something move over here, and I look over and it's my
That's
queue.
the worst. Oh, it's the worst when it's the top of your queue because you're just like, really?
No.
Ooh, Jadu Smith. So again, I got to talk about this tight end because we're getting that range. Erika is one of my favorite tight ends in this class. I think he has a chance to be the second best offensive rookie tight end this season. He's with the Bengals, who we know, like, they can't get it right with a tight end. But Burrow, historically, he likes to throw it to him. They get targets. I know
Tanner Hudson tried his best last year.
That's fair.
To be something.
That's very fair, but I just think he is a big dude, like big athletic guy. He also, similar to a lot, I know we've been saying this about Brooks and all these other guys, if not for injuries, he would have never been a 4th round pick. Like he would have been a 2nd, 3rd round pick for sure. I think Joe Burrow is still one of the best QBs in the league. Maybe Higgins is gone. I just think there's a lot of upside in a guy like Eric Hall, who they got from Iowa.
I dig it.
Oh, Isaiah Likely. Now that's my guy too. The Ravens need to learn. You can play Andrews and Likely. Like Likely is a good enough wide receiver. He doesn't have to line up at tight end.
That's the hope. Like that would be fantastic. That would certainly alleviate them needing to play Nelson Aguilar for
and Rashad Bateman
game. Right.
my arch nemesis. Every year I'm like, Rashad Bateman, this is the breakout year. Loved him coming out of college. Yeah, he sucks.
No. Not this year.
Hope you made a lot of money, Bateman, because I don't think you're going to get another contract.
Not this year, not any year. And you know what? I'll just share.
You are so good at this. Demario Douglas, Trey Palmer. Get the fuck out of here, Stacy.
I've taken way too much Demario Douglas. See, my plan was to go get Malachi Corley, who I purposely stayed away from because I didn't want to Marvin Mims him like I did last year. I just went like ham on Marvin Mims, and I had like 40% exposure. And then
you know what Demario Douglas' target share was last year with the Pats down the stretch?
Not
like
off
24% or something.
It was
as high as 28% for a 5-week stretch. I think for the last 7, it was 20.
I loved
25. You're getting him in the 15th round, and May's an upgrade. And let's be honest, even if May doesn't play right away, Brissett is a huge upgrade and an adult that can actually throw the ball a little bit.
100%. I'm a huge Pop fan. But I have taken him, and I would have to go back and look at my exposure, but I can promise you I've taken him in at least 3 of the 4 that I've done.
Stacy, it's like DFS. I tell people, if you got a feeling, trust your gut, man. And you have 90% ownership, you got 90% ownership. Like, it is what it is. It could either be a really good season, really bad season, really good week, really bad week. But I think that if it continues to be where you're not forcing it, like, just keep doing it.
Yes. Well, that's why I took him and Trey Palmer. I just feel like there's, Trey Palmer's going to be, this is the 16th round. Palmer's going to be good for a couple touchdowns, they love going to him down the field. Baker will throw him a couple touchdowns in the season, and maybe he'll get in my flex spot. And that is exactly what I'm drafting him for.
I'm watching Picasso, Kevin Tompkins, just not take running backs until late. Look at him, just filling in the edges. It's just, it's really like watching a masterclass. I feel lucky to see this live in person, Kevin. This is impressive because I was literally looking at your roster going, man, I don't know. I know you don't like running backs, but you really don't like running backs. I love the last 3 guys you got.
Like, just on the Trey Palmer thing, like Trey Palmer, get ready to learn Jalen McMillan, buddy. But no, I mean, I've done it running back. Like, I'm not 6 is even a lot for me, but yeah, just taking rookie stabs on Corum, Lloyd, and Vidal, like, and then Julian McLaughlin, who could get his own job too if Javonte keeps being a disappointment.
Yeah,
I hope he's not, because I really like Javonte, and he's had some bad luck, but I completely agree with you.
I am a Jalen McMillan fan as well, Kevin, but I have taken him in a few places too. So I'm just kind of like switching up which, of the 3rd/4th receiver there. For the Bucks I take.
Where are we on Kate Otten? Because if you look, and I know this from DFS, killed it the last 6-7 weeks. Had a great playoff. It was almost like Baker realized, okay, it's Evans and then this guy, and not Evans and then Godwin. I haven't seen any of that. Looking at the tight ends that are going before him and best balls, why do you think people are kind of off him again?
Probably, I'm thinking target competition, but that dude should be probably like 2-3 rounds higher, just based on what he's projected to get. I mean, if Kate Otten doesn't run 85% of the routes on average this season, I will be shocked.
That's what I was saying. He's out there all the time. He's literally on the field all the time. And so Team 3 took Otten in the 15th round. They took Luke Musgrave as their first tight end, I think. And the 14th, I think there's the only 2 they have. Let me just scroll just to make sure. Oh, no, they took Njoku also. So they did a 3 tight end build. But I can't tell you how many times I've gone after a Musgrave Otten stack there.
Look, I'm sorry. I got to do this real quick. The hate for Bryce Young is out of fucking control. Drake May, Justin Fields, Geno Smith, and Danny Dimes all just went before Bryce? Get out of here.
Tell us how you really feel.
That's crazy.
Poor Bryce Young.
I'm sorry. He's the number 1 pick. Yes, he had an awful first year.
Yeah, but can he ride a roller coaster?
Well, I don't know if he's tall enough to do that. I mean,
him and Rondale Moore are just sitting there, they're next to the little, you must be this tall to ride the roller coaster.
It worked okay for Kyler Murray. It's worked okay for Drew Brees.
Well, yeah,
Russell.
Russell. Like, you don't have to be tall. And I think the bigger issue with Bryce was they had receivers that all ran down the field and no offensive line. This year, I don't know if the offensive line's much better, but they have receivers that are more get open quickly. Deontay Johnson, we talked about Leggett. And then again, just the fact that they have a legit running game, in my opinion, and Hubbard. And obviously with Brooks, like I think Bryce is in for a big bounce back. And a lot of people are like, oh, he sucks. We're going to eat a lot of crow. Because if CJ Stroud was in Carolina, we'd be saying the same fucking things about CJ Stroud that we're saying about Bryce Young, period.
I just feel bad that Bryce Young ended up in the cluster that is Carolina. Like, I mean, I think it makes such,
Don't ever feel bad for Carolina, okay?
Well, no, I mean, I'm not feeling bad for him. I'm feeling bad for Bryce Young, like,
okay.
I just wonder, like, how, especially when, guys end up in really bad situations. Like, think about poor Sam Darnold, too. I mean, he's made a bajillion trillion dollars, but, like, look at all the terrible places he's been. Like, think of maybe he could have been a lot better quarterback if he had, been in a better position.
The older Carr brother is the one you should feel sorry for. I think he got sacked 150 times his first 3 seasons. It's like, welcome to the NFL. He's like, no, I'm good. I'm good. No.
Right. I'm going to take some.
Here, Bryce Young, here are the weapons for you. Enjoy Jonathan Mingo and 95-year-old Adam Thielen. Like, good luck. Here's Hayden Hurst, too. You want him?
That was one of the additions to the Chargers, again, for Lad McConkey.
Will Dissly, 100 targets. Let's go.
J.K. Dobbins and Hayden Hurst. That was the guys they added. Lad McConkey should be going earlier than all those guys.
Slander on my guy, Will Dissly, by the way.
Is he still in Seattle, or did I miss that he moved?
No, he's in LA, too.
He's in LA, too?
He is, yeah. I didn't know that.
Are they going to run 3 tight end set knowing Harbaugh?
I feel bad for Trevor Lawrence, too. He was put in a really bad situation.
He was.
Yeah.
Like a number 1 pick.
I mean,
Jalen McMillions. Let's go.
Yeah, there you go. So I took Malik Washington, and then I went with the Human Dorch for my last pick.
Love it.
To round out my Arizona stack. So we'll see. Who knows, guys? Can you believe it's like this? This was my
Slayton pick. Great call, by the way. I know that's our girl, Rachel. Rachel with the Slayton pick last. I like that a lot.
He's always good for like a couple. Like this is what you're doing. Like in the 18th round, right? You're taking dart throws. You're taking guys with lots of high upside.
Marcus Robinson's another one right there.
Exactly. Yeah. Like those guys that are going to be good for a few long touchdowns. So.
And Slayton's always out there running routes too, and literally he is like the Van Jefferson of like he's like the safety runner. And he'll pull all the coverage, and then he'll get a couple of hits.
Oh yeah.
Erika with the Jalen Hyatt too, which again, you guys are more the experts than I am in best ball, but I think he's like a perfect boomer bust guy, right? Like that you're taking the 17th round. I mean, he had 290-yard or more games last year, and he was a big play machine at Tennessee. Hopefully, maybe the Giants offense could get a little more coverage off with Neighbors there. So I still haven't given up on Hyatt either. I think he's the most talented receiver not named Neighbors on the Giants right now.
Yep. Scores a touchdown. More than likely he's in your lineup.
Poor Devontae Walker is just destined to be Rashad Bateman 2.0 in Baltimore. We all know.
You mean Tylan Wallace?
That's even more fair. I still have his rookie cards, Kevin. I got several of them. I was thinking, man, I could sell. Oh, no, that's right. I can't sell these. Nobody wants them. I could burn them probably.
I mean, Oklahoma State fan, I'll take the Tylan Wallace card.
You want it? I do have some Oklahoma State ones, Erika. I'll get you. You want? I got Tyreek Hill too. There's a few other OSU guys. I might even have a Whedon one somewhere.
I loved Whedon.
Oh, we'll go through my cards here in a little bit. I will definitely be sending you those. I would send Stacy Green Bay cards, but they actually hold value typically. So I hold on to those. I'm sorry, Erika. You're new, so I had to give you a little bit of a dig. But favorite draft right now, looking at the board.
Yeah. Let me scroll up a little bit more. So guys, we just ended the draft. Can you guys, one of you, either Erika or Kev, can you tell them who the last pick was? Because you guys know how it likes to keep us in
Bo Nix.
Bo Nix. Yeah. Boomer Bo. All right.
So wait a minute. I don't know. What is the deal there? It doesn't pop up for a minute? Or?
It doesn't. Yeah. So it won't. It just like Mr. Irrelevant. It doesn't tell you who it is.
So whoever wrote that code, we need y'all to get your shit together.
This does it every year. I don't know why it does that. But who knows? We're at 908 subscribers, guys. Don't think I haven't been keeping check.
I'm so disappointed.
908. We're all getting fired. Jorge's firing all of us immediately after this show ends.
Well, we had a good run. We can do whatever we want now.
Exactly. We can do whatever we want. So unless the rest of you get out there and put us over 1,000, we won't be back next week. I'm just kidding. We will be back next week. But yeah, like I'm gonna tell you what we're doing next week, but you gotta wait till we're totally finished. But yeah, Keith, to answer Keith's question, what do you guys think? What teams do you like here? What's a pick that you really enjoyed?
So we can even do it in sections so that way everybody can see it. Let's say what team do you like best from the first 6 rounds? Then we do it in 3 sections, right? First 6, second 6, third 6.
Yes.
I'm gonna kiss the host ass, and I'm gonna say I love Harrison Jr., London, Smith, Dell, Bowers, and Montgomery because I feel like you got a running back that we know is gonna. I mean, like God, Detroit loves that dude. Like they love that guy, man. And that was your 6th pick. You got a tight end that's basically a receiver and Bowers, and the upside potential, particularly with London and Dell and Harrison, is really scary for best ball. So that's going to be my favorite first 6.
Thank you. I really kind of like surplus of cash here going Jefferson, Debo, Waddle, Cooper Kupp, and then grabbing Pacheco, who is one of my favorite running backs, and then getting George Kittle there.
He might have actually a surplus of cash by the end of the season.
He might. That's one that I'm really digging. Erika, Kev, what do you guys think?
I guess I like yours, Stacy. As much as I wanted to give some shit about the 112, which I still don't feel great about it, but
I don't love it. Yeah.
Honestly, Devonta Smith and Tank Dell could outproduce Marvin Harrison in London, and I wouldn't be shocked.
Right.
So, like that quartet plus Bowers plus David Montgomery, stubborn Dan Campbell will always give that dude a job.
Yeah.
So I do like that.
I was liking surplus of cash too.
Actually, I do want to also say I didn't realize that Kevin got St. Brown and Adams with his first 2 picks.
I know.
That is also just a disgust, especially if Rashee Rice ends up not getting suspended this year. Holy smokes. But that's what concerns, right? That's the only reason I didn't say you first is like ones if Rice misses 8 games. I understand what you're saying late. Let him just produce late. I get that. Yeah. But I'd like to know he's going to play the whole year. If he does, that's really good first 6 picks.
I know. I love that Dalton Kincaid pick too. Like I was putting him on there. I had him and Kyle Pitts on my queue, and they both got snatched real fast. So that's 5th round. So those of you out there that are listening, Kincaid, Pitts, Evan Ingram, Bowers, seems like that's a good mid-round tight end place to start taking those guys. All right, so I'm going to
let's do 7, 12. Yeah.
Yeah, here we go. Let's see. Oh, this is tough. Not as much orange down here.
This is when everybody was puking green instead of pissing yellow.
Yes. I guess pissing orange. You might need to hydrate if you're.
You might need to. That's like the day after the bar.
All right. Again, I know I'm going kiss ass here, but I really like Erika's 6 picks here because you get Stevenson in New England, who I think that they're going to have an identity of running the ball more. We'll see with Jackson Smith. I mean, that's you hope. Maybe they trade Lockett or maybe it's just his deal, but I love Brooks. I like Singletary for his situation. And, I mean, to get 2 of that late, Miami, I mean, come on. When A-Chain was healthy, which I know that's an if, but that offense with Waddle, Hill, and A-Chain was scary good. So I could see him having monster games. And I'm a big fan of Cole Kmet because when you got 3 wide receivers who are just a nightmare to cover, that's going to leave open a lot as the tight end underneath or the tight end, over the middle. I really do like those 6 picks a lot.
Yeah, I want to say Cole Kmet last season was one of the I think there was a group that scored like 10 points or more average PPR, and then it was like Cole Kmet right there with like 9 point something. So he was like one of the top, scores if you didn't have like those, super elite guys. So I mean, I love that. I think Cole Kmet is really kind of undervalued. So good job getting him there, Erika.
Clowns too. I just realized I've got a fever, and the only cure is best ball, which is just one of my favorite SNL segments of all time. And then Kevin Topser with Imagine drafting a running back in this economy. Well done. Well done.
You gotta, we just like sneak little things in there. You gotta, be
I
on
blame Obama for the running back economy. That's just me, Kevin. I mean, I don't know about you, but
Thanks,
I think it's
Obama.
Obama's fault.
Look, we all got to tighten our belts. And then Microsoft went down 3 points. Dented cans are half price.
We wasted a good surprise on you. For y'all that are probably way too young for that reference, Big Daddy, great movie. Check it out. Both of those quotes come from him.
That is a great movie. Adam Sandler. Rounds 13 through 18 here, our last bit of the draft. Let's see. I want to pick somebody who I haven't talked about yet.
It is awesome looking at it from this stretch down because you're going, oh, I mean, you're going, wait a minute. This is 13 through 18 in a 12-person league.
If you're an ageist, I mean, I've got it where it's at. Just saying. Like the average age of mine is probably like 22.
Yeah, you've got a bunch of babies on the last part of your draft there. Let's see how many rookies you got. 1, 2, 3, 4 rookies out of those.
And 2 second-year guys.
Yeah, and 2 second-year guys. I love it. I can't wait to see how high up Kamani Vidal goes. Starts. I bet he's going to get steamed up pretty high on this draft. He's around 16 now.
Lead the charge. I'm doing it.
I also like Rachel's build.
Rachel just kept catching strays over here.
I texted her, by the way, after she took Jared Goff for me. After I took St. Brown and Jameson Williams, was hoping to get Goff on the way back. I had to have it out with her.
I'm sure that's a reference to his players, right?
I sure hope so.
Nah, she knows some inside information. We probably won't see Kevin again for quite some time. No,
I'll see her at the Minnesota live draft.
Oh my gosh. Guys, this was so much fun. I'm so glad that y'all joined and everybody in the chat. This was awesome. Guys, we are going to be doing, actually, let me go ahead and take this board off so you can see all of our beautiful faces here before we let you go. Guys, next week we're doing something a little bit different. We are going to be dipping our toes in the shallow pool end of the FFPC. This is going to be a great draft for those of you who are really new to the FFPC, want to learn a little bit more about it. We're going to be doing a classic redraft, not a best ball, redraft, right, in May. Let's go. Let's do it. $35 entry. We're going to be putting the link and the information for you to sign up for that draft if you want to draft with us out. Because probably need to sign up a little bit in advance, especially if you don't have an FFPC account. If you don't, real easy to sign up. You can go on and do it. Like I said, you gotta like and subscribe, follow all of us to get that information. So make sure that you're doing that. Guys, make sure to follow everybody here on the Twitter machine. You got Keith at Keith Fleming over here. Erika is down here at America with a K 108. Kev's at K Tompkins. I or two?
I am the second. The second of my name.
He's like a captain pirate. You know what I mean?
I'm the captain now. I am not the captain now.
I just realized I had never said your Twitter handle before, so I was like, "Is it I?" As I'm reading, it is.
None of these people are listening anyway. We picked up all of 5 fucking YouTube subscribers. Thanks for nothing.
Yeah.
5, 4, 3, 2, and we're back to where we started.
We got a YouTube subscriber for every single one of us that's on the show, so that's good. I am at Stacy _Perez 83. Scampers, thank you for a tremendous evening. We love all you guys in the chat. Again, we will be seeing you next week here on the draft show. Everybody, have a great night.